Was the arthritis bothering your golf game on the 11th and the 12th?
It always bothers my golf game if I didn't have I don't know. I think the traveling and all, I was probably a little stiffer. But I travel so much that's not unusual. So I mean, I play with the handicap.
Did you do anything for the swelling in your joints other than take some Motrin, perhaps?
I don't know, the Motrin is for swelling. It's not. It's for pain.
Pain. Well, let me rephrase the question then. Other than taking some Motrin, did you do anything at all for your arthritis on June 11 and June 12?
You know, everything, I mean, I don't know how to answer the question because virtually everything I do, before I go play golf, stretching, sometimes I wear sleeves on my knees. I've had various analgesics, and I do this all the time. So virtually everything I do is for my arthritis. Otherwise, I'd get up, do a stretch, and go play golf. One of the reasons I get up so early is because of my arthritis. It takes me a longer time than most people to stretch to you know, be able to function.
Did you wear sleeves on your knees on June 12th?
I may have on my left knee. Not on the 11th, I'm sure, but probably on the 12th.
Did you take any medications besides the ones you described? One was Motrin and the other one was this other drug you mentioned.
I don't think I was taking this Sulfasalin during this period of time.
So you weren't taking any prescribed drugs at all for arthritis on June 11 and June 12, is that right?
I don't think so.
And,
yeah.
And you may have taken some Motrin.
I'm sure I took Motrin.
Okay. And did you receive any particular medical treatment for your arthritis on those 2 days?
Other than the Motrin, no.
Okay. Is Dr. Maltz the only doctor treated you for arthritis in the 90s?
Other than the nutritionist.
What's the nutritionist's name?
Oh, jeez. Oh, I'm embarrassed. She has a line of vitamins out. Maybe you. I can't think of her name,
okay.
but I can get it for you easily.
Is there a name for the arthritis that you have?
From what they told me, I have, well, whatever is normal arthritis that I think many athletes might sustain. And then there's rheumatoid, and I was showing signs of rheumatoid arthritis.
When did you start showing signs of rheumatoid arthritis?
You'd have to ask them. I just went by what Dr. Job and what Dr. Bertram Maltz told me.
Okay. Did you tell Nicole in May or June of 1994, withdrawn, did you have a conversation with Nicole in May or June of 1994 when she said in words or in substance to you, "How dare you buy my friends? How come you're buying my friends?"
In substance, when she called me and yelled at me, in substance, that's what she was saying.
Did she also say to you, "You took my friends away, you took my family"?
No.
She never said anything like that to you in those same conversations?
No.
Okay. And what did you understand her to mean when she was talking about you were buying her friends?
I'd say in substance, I don't think she used that word, but in substance she was saying something about leave my friends alone and stuff, and I didn't know.
Had you just entered into any financial deals with any of her friends?
I don't understand the question.
Had you made any business dealings with any of her friends in the 3 months before she died?
Well, Christian I consider my friend also. And Christian performed a service for me and he was paid for that service.
When did you make this deal with Christian?
I can't say that we made a deal. He and I, 3 or 4 months previous to this, started working on this possible project. Yeah, I would say we started about 3 or 4 months before June.
Was that the Playboy video?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yes.
So Christian was involved in that?
Yes.
And he got paid?
Yes.
Who paid him?
I did.
How much did you pay him?
$5,000, which was just sort of a $5,000.
When did you pay him the $5,000?
Probably in May. Probably after I did the video.
1994?
Yes.
Was that the first business dealing you had with Christian Reichardt?
You know, it depends how you look at it. He did a lot of, I went to his office often. So, you know, if that's business, that was business.
Was that the first time you paid him any money?
I just can't recall if we paid him for helping. I don't know if I paid him or if he did it as a friend for some, you know, some chiropractic work that he did for me.
Was that the first time you recall paying him any money?
Yes.
Okay. Did Nicole say to you in May or June of 1994, if you really want this marriage to work out, you're going to have to go to therapy to control your anger?
No.
Anything like that?
No.
Did she ask you to go see a therapist in May or June of 1994?
No.
Did you see a therapist in May or June of 1994?
Yes.
And this is after you and she split up on Mother's Day, right?
Yes.
You saw Bert Katai?
I talked to Bert.
Is that the therapist you're talking about?
Yeah.
Talked to him on the phone?
Yes.
How many times?
I don't know.
This is between Mother's Day and Nicole's death?
I don't know.
More than once?
I don't think so, but possibly.
Were these professional consultations or just friendly conversations?
Well, when you said he talked to a therapist.
Hey, they could be talking to play golf.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there anything about psychotherapy? That's what he wants to know.
Possibly.
You're not, excuse me, you're not sure?
Any conversation I may have had with him would have been in connection with Paula, so possibly.
Not in connection with Nicole?
Not in connection with Nicole.
Did he charge you?
I don't know.
Okay. How long were the conversations?
I don't know. I know I joined him and Kathy at lunch once. And other than that, as I said, I don't have no real memory of flat out talking to him about for service.
Where was the lunch?
At a place called, I believe it called Marquis West.
Where's that?
Right out here, over here somewhere, next to his office.
Where's his office?
It was on Santa Monica Boulevard.
And tell us about that conversation.
I don't think I want to tell you about if it was professional conversations that he and I had.
But
if Kathy was there, it's waived.
Yeah, well, I don't recall exactly what it was. Kathy was there, and we were talking about the food, you know, and I may have asked his opinion about Paula, how to make things easier with you know, for Paula, what I should look for, because I knew I had heard her before.
Is your testimony that you did not discuss at all Nicole in that conversation?
I believe not. I may have mentioned that, you know, Nicole and I was through, but any conversation I had with him wasn't really concerning Nicole.
And when you were talking about Paula,
I may have. Now, I'm not sure if I did at all, but I'm almost positive I would have brought Paula up if Bert was there.
can you tell me anything else that was said in that conversation?
No.
How long was it?
I came, they were having lunch, and I left, and they were still having lunch.
Is that the only time you specifically remember talking to Bert Katai during this time frame of May and June 1994?
Yes, I may have talked to him on the phone once, coming from Palm Springs.
weekend of Memorial Day?
Yes.
By the way, during that weekend, did you have the children on Thursday and Monday?
Of what weekend?
Memorial Day weekend, 94.
Maybe Monday, but not Thursday. I didn't have them Monday. I think Sydney came by Monday. But Thursday, no.
And Friday?
No.
But maybe Monday?
Maybe Monday.
Who set up this meeting with Bert Katai?
Which meeting are you talking about?
The lunch meeting, yeah.
I don't think it's set up. I think I went to the office and Kathy said she was going to lunch with Bert if I wanted to join him, and I said if I had time I would. And I think I did spin by. They were already having lunch. I picked off their plates and left.
Earlier, you said that this was a conversation about professional consultation. Didn't
Well, I
want
said
to
may have
describe it to me. What did you mean about
may have been.
professional consultation?
He said it may have been.
It may have been. I'm not sure. That if I brought up Paula, I'm pretty sure I would have brought up Paula, and I may have asked for advice from him about that.
What advice?
I'm sorry, what?
What advice did you ask him?
About how to make it easier for Paula and what I should look for, because in getting back with Paula, I had hurt her before, and you know, I guess it was a trust issue.
When you and Paula got back together during this time frame, did you and she have any discussions about Nicole?
No.
Did she say to you, in words or in substance, I'm concerned about resuming my relationship with you because I don't want to get hurt again if you leave me for Nicole again?
No.
That never came up?
No.
When you picked her up at the airport or met her at the airport, I guess you said you surprised her. Did you and she had a conversation about getting back together?
We're not going back through this. I instructed not to answer.
Did you and she have a conversation about getting back together and the impact on her of your breakup with Nicole?
It's asked and answered. I'm not going to allow him to go back through that.
Tell me everything that you and Paula discussed concerning Nicole during the months of May and June.
Same. I'm not going to allow him to do that. Not only that, it's overbroad.
Is it your testimony that at no time before Nicole's death in the month of May and June, you and Paula discussed Nicole? Is that your testimony?
That's been asked and answered. Don't answer that either.
When did you and Paula get back together?
Because we've been all through that. Don't answer that.
Did you and she become monogamous in May or June of 1994?
Don't answer that. It's been asked and answered and invades his right of privacy.
Did Paula ever ask you if you killed Nicole?
Ask and answered. Don't answer that.
When Paula visited you during the week of June 13, did she ever discuss with you your involvement in Nicole's death?
Don't answer that. That's been asked and answered as well.
I don't agree with any of these, by the way, but
I understand.
We'll take care of it later on.
I understand.
Did Paula come to visit you in prison?
Ask and answered. Don't answer that.
I don't think any of these have been asked and answered.
Well,
Did
he talked about it.
I don't think so, Mr. Baker, but
If I'm wrong, we'll check it we'll run it through the computer
I think.
at the lunch break.
Did you have any visits with Paula in a jail cell?
Pardon me, say that again?
Did she visit you in your jail cell?
No.
Never?
Never.
When you were in jail, did she come to visit you?
Yes.
Where?
Attorney room.
Okay. Well, you understood that's what I meant, didn't you?
Well, don't answer that. You
Well, I
said
think-
jail cell.
Well, you understand what I mean.
Well, don't answer that.
Well, I want to make sure he's not withholding important information on some hyper-technical interpretation of my questions.
You want to just answer the question.
I'm sure he wouldn't want to mislead anyone. Anyway,
Don't get snotty.
well, I think it's an inappropriate response, but we'll go
tough.
back.
I don't really care what you think.
I know you don't, and I'm not trying to please you, Mr. Baker. I'm trying to do my job.
The question was jail cell.
So one Baker is enough, okay? I don't need two.
Your point is well taken on that one.
Let me just wrap this up here on this point. She visited you in the attorney room, right?
Yes.
Number of occasions, right?
Yes.
And you had many, many telephone conversations.
Yes.
And in any of those conversations in the jail, in the attorney room, or in the telephone, did she ask you if you killed Nicole?
I don't ever recall her asking me that.
Did you tell her?
I'm sure I did.
What did you tell her?
I'm sure I did. I don't remember any specific conversation, but I think anybody who heard me speak during that time, once I was arrested, I've said many, many times that why they're doing this to me, I didn't do this, and basically that was my attitude.
Did Paula ask you where you were on the evening of June 12th at any time?
Not that I recall.
Did you ever ask Paula if she listened to the messages you left her on June 12th?
No.
Did you ever tell her to erase those messages?
No.
Did you ever tell her if she could make copies of them or to retrieve them?
No.
Did she ever discuss with you those messages?
No.
Okay. I'm prepared to keep going, but did you want to break for lunch now, Mr. Baker?
I think it was Candyman that was kind of interested in groceries. No, it was
Okay,
Michael.
well, why don't... Is the lunch here?
Yeah.
Okay, well, we'll stop now. We'll start up again in an hour. I'll finish up then.
We are going off the record. Time is approximately 12:04.
I hope so. Prior to Nicole's death, did you used to keep your gates open?
Years ago, before we got dogs,
When did you stop keeping your gates open?
probably in the mid-'80s.
And when you got dogs, then you closed them up all the time?
Well, in the beginning we didn't, but I would say probably closer to the late 80s. SPCA, we started getting a lot of complaints, and into the 90s, a lot of from SPCA. So we had to start closing up.
The Rockingham gate can open and close manually, can it not?
Yes.
In fact, it was demonstrated on the video that you put out that it opened and closed manually, right? When you walked
don't
up
think
the
so.
Rockingham driveway, you opened up the gate?
Yeah, I did open it manually.
Right.
We weren't making that as any demonstration.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you make the gate work manually as opposed to automatically?
You have to disengage a lever on the machine box.
Can you do anything at the location of the gate itself to take it off of...
Well, the machine box is over in the bushes that connects the arm that connects to the gate to pull it open or not. At the end of the box is there's a lever you can disengage, and then it's fully manual.
If you're standing outside your property, can you disengage the automatic feature of the gate and cause it to open and close manually?
No.
It's impossible?
Yes.
Be a great security system, wouldn't it?
Not unless you're the only one who knew about it. Do you ever keep that gate on manual when you leave the property?
It's not been my habit to, no.
Have you ever done that?
I might have in my life, yes, but I don't recall when, other than when we shot the video.
Was the gate used, to your knowledge, in a manual mode on June 12th?
I don't believe so, no.
Are you sure about that?
I'm pretty sure about that, yes.
You recall all of your trips out the Rockingham gate and in the Rockingham gate, and you think any of them occurred when the gate was on manual mode?
No.
If you were outside your property and you wanted to get inside and you didn't have a key, how would you do that?
Are you talking about outside the physical walls of his property?
Yes.
Okay. I didn't know if you were talking about outside the house. Because a key doesn't open the gates. That's why I asked.
Key opens the Rockingham gate, doesn't it?
Yes.
Well, you've got a clicker.
Okay.
No, a key opens the Rockingham gate.
Oh, the right. I'm sorry, you're right. The right.
So I know
He'll say you're right, but he won't say I'm right.
You're right, Mr. Petrocelli. I apologize.
For the record. Okay. What's the answer, Mr. Simpson?
I don't know if that's ever happened to me. It has happened to me, but Justin was with us. So outside of that, it's just never happened to me.
What has never happened to you?
That I was outside the gate and nobody was inside to let me in, and I didn't have a key or control.
When you had Justin, how'd you get him to open it up for you?
Justin can actually, there was 2 bars that he can actually walk through on the gate, and then he'd go and push the gate open.
And I take it you can't fit through those bars, right?
No.
Have you ever jumped any of your fences?
Since I've owned the house?
Yeah.
Yes.
Which ones?
Down where the tree grows through the wall,
Which wall?
the Ashford wall.
Near the Ashford gate?
Well, I can't say it's near it in terms of the wall. It's about halfway down my property.
Give me the exhibits. I think it's that last file right there, John. One of them. No, that's not it. Here it is. Here's exhibit 85. Where have you jumped the fence on your property?
Right about here.
Okay, you're pointing to the tree on the east side, northeast side, where the word lawn appears, right?
Yes.
And we just climb over that fence?
Well, there's a tree that grows through it, so you can kind of step on the branch, maybe a little taller now than when I did it, but you would have to step on the branch and then just go over the wall.
Then you're in the backyard?
Yes.
When was the last time you did that?
Yeah, I don't know, 80s.
And have you ever gone over any of these other perimeter walls to your property?
No.
Okay. And would you have been able to do so in June of 1994?
Speculation, don't answer that.
How would one have jumped the walls? Where can you climb the walls on your property?
Other than where he just told you?
Yes, other than the one area in the northeast quadrant of your property that you just identified.
And when you say you can climb these walls, you mean him physically can climb any of the walls?
A person. A person.
Bruce Jenner, maybe?
Bob Baker.
None. None without a crane.
Pure speculation.
Again, Mr. Simpson.
I don't know. I think a motivated person probably could climb the walls.
You could climb the fence and...
Your process server did it.
No, he didn't. You could climb the fence at Rockingham. There's some trees around here near the north of the Rockingham gate, right?
I never have, and I've never seen anyone do it.
Is it possible to do?
I would think anything is possible, yes.
Now, you can get on the Salinger's property, which is on the south side, by simply walking from the sidewalk right up to the property, correct?
Yeah, down their driveway to their house.
Yeah, and then you can walk up to the south side of your property, on the Salinger side of the fence, right?
I suppose you could.
And you can walk all the way down that property until you come to the area opposite, Cato Kalin's room, right?
I really don't know,
Why not?
because I don't know.
There's a carport back there, isn't there?
Yes,
And you can climb on that carport and jump that fence, can't you?
I don't know.
Do you think that's impossible to do?
I think it would be very difficult.
Why? What would be the obstructions that you would encounter?
Thick foliage, I haven't really looked at the carport, but I would imagine it would be pretty tough to just climb on top of a carport. I don't know if they have any lattice work that would help you climb up there or not. And it would seem to me, and this, I'm just flat out guessing, that if you got as high as a roof, those the Eugenia bushes get thicker as they go up. And I would imagine it'd be dangerous coming through there.
Your property, the level of your property is higher than the level of the Salingers, right?
Where in this property?
South side there.
What are you talking about? His roof or?
No, the ground level.
The ground level?
Yeah.
I believe so. I'm not 100% sure.
By how many feet, do you know?
I don't know.
Is it about 3 feet?
I don't know.
So you know of no way along the south side of your property that you could, if you didn't have a key, get from the Salingers onto your property, is that right?
Well, unless you're climbing something, I don't know of a way to do it, no.
Is there an easy place to climb over during the south perimeter?
I've never really...
Across the south perimeter of your property?
I've never really paid attention to it, other than back here where the so-called glove was found. I've never paid attention to it.
Well, since this whole situation occurred, have you investigated whether or not the fence could be climbed in that area opposite Kaylin's room?
I looked at the fence and thought it would be difficult to climb that fence without sustaining some type of injury. I mean, it would be, you have to be really motivated to do it.
What kind of injury might you sustain?
Speculation.
You mean from the sharp edges on the top of the fence?
Yes.
Okay. Going now to the east, the southeast corner of your property, is there a way to access the property from that corner, or for that matter, from the east side of the property?
Not that I know of.
There's a neighbor whose property is directly east of yours?
A couple of neighbors.
Yeah, is that vacant land there, do you know?
No.
Can you...
Well, on one, now one of them is vacant, yes.
Was it vacant in June of '94?
I don't know.
And what separates your property from the neighbor directly to the east?
Which one?
Right here in the corner, southeast corner.
I would imagine a fence and some pretty thick foliage.
And how high is that fence?
I never looked at it.
Does the fence, is the fence that extends down the south side of your property between your house and the Salinger property the same height all the way down to the corner?
I don't know.
And is there a fence that extends northerly from the southeast quadrant?
I believe so, yes.
Same height as the south fence?
I never looked at it, I don't know.
And so do you know whether one could climb that fence if they were so motivated?
I don't know.
The only time you're aware of anyone accessing your property without a key is when Justin did so with you?
No, I know that various friends would climb the wall here.
1 second. Oh, okay. Put OJ on there. Want to put your 800 number on there?
One for your side. That was good.
Okay. Where on your property do you know your friends have jumped the wall or the fence to get on your property?
Right about the area that I spoke of.
Just in that northeast corner where the big tree is?
Yeah.
That's the only place you're aware of?
Yes.
Have you given anybody instructions at any time that if they need to get on your property without a key, that's the way to get on?
I may have implied that, yes.
To whom?
Years ago, this guy Showman used to have a basketball game, and they'd play at my house on weekends, friends of his, and to not bother us in the house if we were home or not, they would jump the wall there.
It's John Shulman?
Ricky Showman.
Rick Shulman. Is that Linda's husband?
Yes.
In your video, you make a point of showing that if someone wanted to get inside the house from that pathway behind Kaylin's room, they could enter one of two doors, one into the laundry room and the other one into the garage. You recall that?
Yes.
And you also point out that the garage door opens outward, so even if it were jammed up, you could still open the door. Recall that?
Yes.
Do you know what was in that garage where the door is on June 12, 1994?
I think I didn't know at the time. I saw a picture in jail, and it appeared to be kind of a chest.
A chest of drawers?
No, I think it was an oriental chest of some sort. And with some
Blocking the
things on
door?
it. Yeah, blocking access to walk. If you were trying to go that way, you would have had to climb the chest and then open the door. If you want to go from inside outside, that's what it appeared.
What if you wanted to go from outside to inside? You would open the door, and then you would
climb the chest.
would be confronted with the chest.
I would think so.
And how high is that chest?
If I recall, probably this table.
Conference room table about
Yeah, maybe a little
3
taller
feet?
than this.
4 feet. Is that about right?
Yeah.
And was anything on that chest, to your knowledge?
I don't know. You know, I saw a picture, so I would have to see the picture to refresh myself. So I don't. Other than that, I don't know.
And do you know whether there was anything in front of that chest, so such that if you moved the chest out of the way, you know, you'd be confronted with some other obstacle?
It would be pretty tough because I know my car is in there, so there must have been had to be some room. I'm just guessing now. So
What was
you'd
it?
have to show me a picture, otherwise I'm flat out guessing.
I take it that that was not a door that you used to enter into or leave from at around June of 1994. Is that true?
That's correct.
And when was the last time you recalled using that door for access?
The garage door?
The one going out to the south side,
When you say for access, do you mean to access to the house or to the garage?
to the garage.
As of when?
When's the last time you remember it using the door?
Before
June 12,
Or
1994.
before June 12th?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't have a memory of it.
Okay.
I've used it, I know, but I just don't have a memory of when.
It'd been a while since you used it prior to June 12, right?
I would think so, but I'm not sure.
Was that door on the Westech alarm, that outside garage door?
I doubt it.
And there's no keypad there, is there?
No.
Is there a keypad on the door that goes into the residence from the garage?
Yes.
On the outside of the door in the garage?
Yes.
And the laundry room door, is that a door that you or others using your house used regularly in June 1994?
I don't know about regularly, but it was a door that was used.
Do you know whether there was anything obstructing that door from being used in June of 1994, June 12th to be specific?
Normally you could, as if I was, the other day I went out that door and there's always a little, when you go to the various rooms and you take dirty laundry and you put it on it, and we end up dropping that right there. So you have to kick it out of the side.
You have to kick what out of the side?
This little laundry, you know.
A basket?
Yeah, a basket.
A
of
plastic basket?
Yeah.
So that would be the only thing that you believe would have been blocking that door? Is
Well,
a
normally
laundry
that.
basket?
Sometimes you'll have an empty sparklets bottle or something there, but there's never any problem to move aside.
Does that door open inward or outward?
I believe inward.
And is that door on the Westech, or was that door on the Westech alarm in June of 94?
I would think so.
Is there a keypad on the outside of that door
No,
or on the inside?
near the inside, but not at the inside.
Okay. When was the last time, what was the last time prior to going to jail on June 17 that you were in the area of the air conditioner on that pathway behind Kalen's room?
On the 13th,
What were you there for on the 13th?
there was talk about something was outside of Cato's room, and I don't know. I think possibly that ski mask. I don't know. Something was found, and we walked out there to see what was out there.
This was in the evening?
Yes,
This is after police had left and you had come back from your office and you were at Rockingham, right?
correct.
And it was dark out by then, right?
No,
Still light out?
yes.
What time was it?
I don't know. 5:30, 6 o'clock, maybe.
And who did you go back there with?
I don't remember. I think Kardashian may have been with me. And there was somebody else with us too, but I can't recall. I know it was 2 or 3 of us that walked back there.
Now, what was your purpose in going back there?
I don't know. Curiosity.
And no other purpose?
No other purpose I can think of.
And what did you determine, if anything, when you went back there?
No.
How did you get back there?
Walked out of the washroom door.
That laundry room?
Yes.
And were you able to walk past, did you walk past the air conditioner?
I didn't know.
Are you able to, physically?
Yes.
You can squeeze by it?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Between the air conditioner and the fence, there's enough clearance for you to get by?
No, you kind of duck under it. And
Duck under?
Yeah.
Before June 13, when was the last time you were back in that area?
I don't recall.
When's the last time you know for sure you were back there?
For sure, I don't know. I know I had to go back there a few times to do things like light the water. I mean, light the heater.
Where's the water? The water heater?
I guess no, just the heater. The house heater goes out sometimes, and I had to go back there a few times for that.
Where's that heater?
Right outside that door, before you get down the walkway.
West of it?
West of where the air conditioner is, east of the laundry room door.
On this map here, not this sketch, Exhibit 85, you have Kaylin's room, right? And you have office. That's the office that adjoins Kaylin's room, correct?
Yes.
And then where's the laundry room?
Here, the laundry room would be here.
Okay, just immediately east of the garage, right?
Yeah.
And where's the heater?
Heater is here.
Okay, so right about here. I'll put an H there.
Yeah.
Okay. And when was the last time that you went to the heater before June 12, 94?
I don't know.
So you have no recollection in 1994 ever having been in that south pathway, is that right?
That's not correct. I know at some point in time I was back there for not only heater, but also for the lighting. Sometimes I have power outages and you have to go hit the, whatever you call, switch.
Where's the switch?
But I don't recall. Right there.
Right next to the heater?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, not right here. Across from the heater.
Right here?
No.
Why don't you put it? You put an X there, okay?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll make this another exhibit once.
Fine.
H for the heater, X. Now, do you have any other purpose in 1994 for going back in that south pathway?
No.
Okay. And are you telling us that you know for sure you went back there in 1994 before June 13?
Yes.
And you did so in order to fix the lights and fix the heater?
I mean, it's a regular occurrence in my house.
What is?
Either the heater don't come on or one of the switches go off, so portions of my house light doesn't work. It's something that, you know, since I've been out of jail, I've done on numerous occasions.
Now, when you did that in 1994, how did you get to that location?
I go out the washroom door.
And then you would head west, right?
No, east.
East, excuse me. And when was the last time before June 13, 1994 that you had gone down as far as Kaylin's room?
I have no idea.
When was the last time in any year that you'd been down there?
I know. I don't have a recollection. I've done it, obviously, on occasions, but I don't have any recollection at this point.
Why do you say that you have done it obviously on occasions?
Well, it's my property. I built that. My cable wires run back there. We play a game with my kids that you can go anywhere on the property and hide. And, you know, sometimes you look back there, if they're back there, those kind of things.
Do you recall you being back there in 1994?
No.
In 1993?
I'm sure I did, but I don't recall when and what.
And it was playing hide and seek with your kids?
Possibly, possibly.
Did you have any other reason for going as far as Kaylin's room?
Yeah.
What?
The fire department each year gives you a thing about your property, so you have to go and look and see what they tell you. You got to move.
And what did they tell you?
Oh, from time to time you have wood. I think it was too much wood back there at one time. At one point it was the leaves had to be cut back.
And where would the wood be that had to be moved?
I believe it was all the way back here.
To the corner, right?
I believe so, yes.
And when is the last time you recall going back there before June 13?
I don't have a real memory of any specific time going back there. I just know I've been back there on numerous occasions.
If you had to go back there to get wood in that southeast corner, would you access that location from the other side of the property, from your backyard, that is?
No.
You could, right?
I would imagine so, yes.
So right now, though, you don't have any specific recollection of going as far back as Kaylin's room in 1993, is that right?
That's correct.
Okay.
1994, you said?
And 1993.
I know I did. I just don't know specifically when and you know what.
What's the lighting back there? Or what was it in June of 94?
Whatever God gave it.
There's no artificial lighting, right?
No.
So it's completely dark at night down there, right?
That's correct.
Okay. And that's what it was like in June of 94, right?
I believe so.
Does a neighbor have sprinklers that wet the south pathway?
I don't know.
That, you know, get it wet when they go on?
I don't know.
Okay. I'll make a copy of this and mark that as Exhibit 100, I guess. Okay. Oh.
Get them in order.
Do you know whether the garage door was kept locked in June of 1994?
Which door?
The one that leads from the garage to the south pathway.
I don't have any specific thought of that, no. One way or the other.
Okay. And what about that laundry room door? Was it kept locked?
Kept locked.
And you had a master key, right?
Yes.
Which would have worked on the laundry room door, right?
Yes.
And the garage?
I believe so, yes. It wasn't the garage door was normally not kept locked, but
Not kept locked?
normally not. I don't know if it was that period of time or not.
Did you, the last 3 years before June of 1994, ever call someone to fix the heater?
I'm sure I did.
Who did you call, do you know?
I don't know. I don't handle that. Michelle, you'd have to ask Michelle about those.
And who handled the cable?
Whoever does cable in the area.
Have you carried wood back to that corner of the house, the southeast corner?
No.
How did the wood get there?
I think they cut down a tree.
In that area?
Yes.
Now, do you ever go there and get wood for your fireplace?
No.